Hi, and welcome back to our kitchen. Come on in and sit right down. Today I'm going to be making for you something that the younger generation has probably never had or maybe even not heard of, but was a vintage recipe to use up the rest of your Easter ham. And I'm going to show you how it's done. I guess I forgot to tell you the name of this recipe. It's called Glazed ham loaf. Like I say, the younger generation has probably never heard of this or had it before. And it's to use up your leftover ham. Well, I don't have any leftover ham. And because I'm not making a big ham for Easter, I'm going to make it for like 2 people and then have sandwiches left over. First of all, I've got a 1-pound canned ham. Now at my grocery store I used to get it all the time in California, but here in small town they don't have the 1 pound. Now I use this for ham salads, all kinds of things. And first of all, we're going to grind this up in the food processor. So I've got it cut into cubes. My mouth is watering. Okay. Let me get the lid. And I'm going to pulse this. I'm not going to grind it up. And if you have a food meat grinder, that's perfect too. Okay, we want it ground up just about like that. Ground pork, and I'm going to add the ham to it. This recipe can be made in various ways. There's different people that have made it for their hometown. There's a lot of Amish that make this, or used to make it, because I don't know now. It's been a long time since I've had this. My mom and grandma used to make this, and for sandwiches and for dinner. And so, like I said, I haven't had it for a while. I'm going to take crumbs. Now what these crumbs are is I settled on gluten-free pork rinds. You can use gluten-free breadcrumbs. You can use oats. You can use instant mashed potatoes. It depends on what you have in your house. And then I'm going to use 2 eggs. And I want to beat them up a little bit to break the yolks and put those in. Next I'm going to use half a cup of milk. Well, maybe less. Let me take a look at it. I don't want it to be too wet. Yeah, half a cup. And this is almond milk, dairy free. Next I have a tablespoon of dill pickle juice and a couple teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Now this is where a lot of people put brown sugar in it. I wanted a honey taste to it, like a honey ham, so I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. Now the fun part. I'm going to put gloves on because of the fact that the pork is still cold out of the refrigerator. You can do this with your bare hands. Just make sure you wash them first. Maybe take your rings off. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong when you're making a video. Reason it's hard to get on is because my fingers were a little bit sticky from the honey. but we'll get it. Sorry for the delay. Okay, it's good enough. Rip that off. Okay, next. I bought this box of gloves. Actually, I think I bought them at the drugstore. And they are food safe. But I use them a lot when I cut peppers. Jalapenos, anything that's really hot. Because one thing about peppers is you get them on your hands and then you touch your eye later on and you're in trouble. So we're going to mix this up real good. Eggs still aren't incorporated. Just like a meatloaf. Okay, now I'm going to put it in a pan, and a sprayed glass pan, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my mixture getting ready to go into the glass pan, and of course I forgot to tell you when I was filming the last segment that I put 2 tablespoons of minced onion. I like this stuff because you can use it when you run out of regular onion, like you go and say, well, I'm out of onions. Well, this stuff comes in handy, especially in soups and stews and stuff. That way you don't have to worry about it. Another thing is, a lot of people now put garlic in their ham loaf. Well, my grandma never heard of garlic. We never heard of garlic growing up. So I'm just going to leave that out. This is going to go into a 350 degree oven for about an hour. Get your little thermometer and check the doneness in the middle. It should be 160 degrees. Now you can make this the way you want it. If you want to flatten it out, it takes less time to bake. Next of all, just because I wanted to show you, I'm going to make a side dish. I've got a pan lined with non-stick foil, and I'm going to take some broccoli and small potatoes, and I'm going to mix in my ranch dressing mix that I made on another video that is dairy free. Ranch dressing has oil in it, and of course this has got it from the mayonnaise. I love to make baked potato wedges in the oven with ranch dressing. This will go below the ham loaf on the second rack below it. My hands are slippery, so bear with me. This is for if you're only 2 people and you're not having an Easter dinner because of COVID. Then you can make this for the 2 of you and you're not making a gigantic ham. So let me get this in the oven, 350 degrees. I'm going to roast them both at the same time. I'll keep an eye on the veggies. If I have to pull them out earlier, then I will. And we'll be back. Okay, while the ham loaf's in the oven, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze for it that you want to start glazing it about 20 minutes before it's done. You can do it 30 minutes. Just glaze it and then go back in and glaze it again. Here I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I have 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. You can use apple cider. I just tend to like the balsamic better. And a tablespoon of dill pickle juice. So I'm going to add that in there. And I'm just going to eyeball this. This is regular yellow mustard. Just a little bit, like a teaspoon. And I need to get a towel. I'm also going to eyeball the honey. I want 2 tablespoons of honey into this mixture, because a lot of people just go with the brown sugar. I want like a honey ham. I want some honey in it. And then as a secret ingredient, because I didn't have any pineapple, I didn't put any pineapple in here. What I had in the refrigerator was some orange marmalade. So I'm going to put that in there. This is about 2 tablespoons. And then you want some cloves. Now I have some ground cloves here. I think I've had them forever. And I just need a wee tiny little bit. So instead of using a spoon, I'm going to go in here with the handle and just shake it until I just got about a little bit, because you don't want to overpower your ham. And then I'm going to mix it together. This is my little brush that I'm going to use to brush it over the ham. Make sure the honey and the brown sugar gets dissolved in there. And then I'm going to start glazing my ham loaf at about 20 minutes before the end. So we'll be back. There it is, folks. To tell you the truth, I wasn't supposed to put any water in my glaze. But I did glaze it with what I had, and it got thick along the sides, so I just kept basting the ham. Let me show you how to get this on a plate. You take 2 spatulas like this, go in at each end, and just lift it over. Doesn't matter if it falls apart. It's just like a meatloaf anyway. Okay, let's serve it up. Okay, I'm going to cut the ham loaf. Take my spatula, one of the ones I already used because I didn't want to dirty another one. Now the reason we used ground pork in this is you want to keep it moist. If you're using your leftover ham, grind it up with some of the fat that's left on the meat. Okay. Okay, we have our ham on our plate. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to support your local businesses. They still have not recovered from the shutdowns. So make sure you push the like button for my recipe. And I'll see you later. Bye.